Alright, YouTube, Activiz or Alex back with a brand new video, and I just felt like I had to drop this because this is a video that I felt like I had to do because I don't know, it's one of those shower thoughts that got kind of got placed on my heart because it's something I struggled with in the past. It's something I struggled with in the past of continuing to keep myself like around people or in situations that were bad for me, that were actually in fact hurting me, that were actually in fact hurting me. And you can lose many of your best years by being in the wrong environment, being with the wrong person, or hanging with the wrong friend group. So, first things first, toxic friends. Toxic friends, like, they will shit talk you behind your back and influence you to take part in dangerous or toxic behaviors and activities, sometimes even flat out like dangerous crimes. I'm not talking like petty fucking crimes that like you might fucking spend a night in jail for and pay a fine and it's fucking that. I'm talking these are people who would like try to influence you to commit violent felonies that could literally land you in prison for the rest of your life, if not the majority of your life, or even get you killed. Having sex with taken women, having sex with taken women, having sex with other men's women, doing hard drugs, or being racist or bigoted in any form, especially like that one friend that always picks on gay people for no apparent reason, or shit talks the gay guy in the group. If you do have a gay guy in your friend group, you got that one guy who might shit talk him or judge him harshly because of his sexuality. These aren't people that you need in your life. These aren't people that you need to make time for. All these kinds of people do are drag all these kinds of people do all what these kinds of people do is drag you down and make you look like a worse person, because you may not be bigoted, you might not be homophobic, you might not be racist, you might not be someone who does hard drugs or has sex with taken women or commits violent felonies. But if you hang around people that do, there will eventually become a day where you do yourself. But if you hang around people that do and you don't do any of that, you're going to be perceived as someone who does, because that's what your friend group represents. If your friend group is full of people that do all that bullshit, that's literally what they represent. Degeneracy, ignorance, bigotry. That's literally what they fucking represent. Like, do you want to hang around people like that? Do you want to be known as the dude who hangs around fucking homophobes and misogynists and racists and people who do like super hard drugs and commit violent felonies? Like, not because like they're in tough situations, like tough economic situations, and like they're driven so deep into poverty that they have no choice but to go rob a liquor store because their neighborhood has all the jobs have left their neighborhood years ago, and developers and they're just victims of their material circumstances. I'm talking people who are just genuinely shit people, like genuinely shit human beings. Do you really want to be known as someone who hangs around people like that? Because I'm telling you, your friend group can impact you in so many different ways. You just hanging around the wrong person can taint your image with many other people, can taint your reputation with many others. You can be a stand up dude, but if you hang around you can be a stand up person, but if you hang around a total piece of shit, you'll get ostracized just as much as the piece of shit. So, people like that actually do you more harm than good. Hence why I say you don't need them. Drop them. Make new friends. I get it. Like, this modern era where most people are living on social media or spending most of their time on social media, it seems it's not the same. It's not the same way to make friends as it was years ago. You don't make friends the same way you did years ago by just going out and maybe meeting someone who you happen to have a good time with that night. Like, you happen to just really mesh with that night. You still can make friends that way, but it's a lot less common now. A lot less common because most people are caught up in their phones. Most people are staring at a little black box the majority of the time. Even whenever they're out and they're supposed to be just having fun and interacting with other human beings, they're staring at that same little fucking screen. But you don't even have to go out and go clubbing or go to the movies and find and make friends that way. You want to make friends, find people who are interested in the things that you're interested in. That's the best place you can meet new people that you would be happy to consider friends. If they're doing the same things that you're doing, interested in the same things that you're interested in, you're into fitness, you work out, you go to the gym. Best place for you to meet friends at the gym. They're likely going to have similar mindsets to you if they go consistently. So you can drop these dumbasses who are literally going to just lead you to a life of despair and make friends with people who have good values. Make friends with people who are on the same wavelength as you. Make friends with people who love all people, regardless of who they are, because they just love all people because they're human beings. Friends with people who may at the most smoke weed and that's it, but they aren't going to be trying to influence you to pop a pill that could kill you. Making friends with people who are in committed relationships or married, or if they are single, they aren't necessarily, and if they are single and dating casually, they aren't necessarily targeting women who are taken. They're targeting other singles. They're only going after other singles. I know some people don't like hookup culture. Not a fan of it myself, but it's a lifestyle that people do live, and some people live it that some people live it in a more what's the word I'm looking for? Some people live that lifestyle in a more moral way than others do. And what I mean by that is they aren't going after people who are in relationships whenever they do that. Anyway, so next up, so toxic relationships is another thing, and I would say it's probably, if it weren't for the next one, I would say that toxic relationships will be the top killer of anyone's potential, because a toxic relationship can be damaging to not just your life but the human psyche. Being in a toxic relationship can actually be far more dangerous than being with a bad friend group, because look, you can walk away from those shitty ass friends, you can block all of them and probably never talk to them again that easy. But if you're in a toxic relationship, that's when some deeper emotions are involved that make it easier for you to be manipulated, make it easier for you to be controlled. And yeah, people have lost their lives, literally lost their lives to this shit in numerous ways. It could be with the partner is crazy enough to kill you. You could be stressed enough to pick up deeply unhealthy habits to cope with your situation that deteriorates your health. You could end up doing hard drugs to cope with your situation, which deteriorates your health and your life and your livelihood, because you will likely get hooked on it. An increased rate of depression, stress, anxiety. It just won't be good for you. And you could have so much potential as a person, so much potential to prosper, that could just go like that, all to a toxic relationship. And again, that's someone else you don't need. I know I know that the emotions that are felt when you love someone, they're intense. Very intense, especially when you truly love someone. It's intense. Like having to walk away from a relationship with someone who you really love but you know isn't good for you. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things you can do. That shit will stick with you. It will stick with you and it will eat at you, because you will be wondering why. Why did it have to end that way? Why did it have to be that way? Especially if they weren't that way from the start. and they change over time, or maybe their mask fell off and they start showing their true colors. Yeah, that shit can tear you up. But at the end of the day, you don't need that person. If someone else bringing you more stress than good, if someone's bringing you more stress and more pain than joy, they gotta go. They just gotta go. Now, this is the one that I say you don't need the most. And this is, I would say, the biggest dream killer, the biggest theft of potential, and the one thing that almost everyone on their deathbeds, in their final moments, will wish they had done something different about. And it's a dead end job. Those dead end ass jobs. Now, I'll never forget. I was like, what, 15 years old, 15, 16 years old, around that age. Went to Kroger with my mom and my oldest brother. And there's a 60-plus-year-old man named Donald, at the Kroger. He's gathering all the shopping carts, but in an angry way. He's visibly angry that he has to do this, visibly angry that he has to be at work. Like, he's literally smashing these carts together. And I get it. Sometimes you gotta like really push these things together to get them all like bundled and whatnot. But no, this guy was literally like ramming these carts into each other. Like, when he was like gathering them, you could tell he didn't like his job. You could just see it in his face that he felt miserable at his job. There's a guy who I knew from an old job I had who had been delivering pizzas for 30 plus years. Now, I'm not knocking the guy if that's genuinely what he enjoys, but I say that to highlight the importance of having the guts to seek out something better. Since a dead end job isn't all you're destined for, though it can be a stepping stone, you should never allow yourself to be married to a job that has no future for you. Because that job will replace you in a heartbeat if you got injured there. Or if you died on the way there. Like, you died driving there. They will replace you within a week. Hell, y'all saw that dude, the fucking United Healthcare CEO, got shot, and business had to keep running. They replaced his ass before the week was over. And look, especially if you're treated like shit by your boss and your colleagues, yeah, you don't need that job. Like, if you really sit and think about it, it probably doesn't pay you very much. You're just there maybe because you're comfortable, or it's just what you've done for a while. But at the end of the day, you don't need the job. Now, yeah, I know you literally do to pay your bills, keep a roof over your head, keep yourself fed, or keep your family fed. But it's not somewhere you need to stay forever in that sense. You don't need that job in the sense of that you need to stay there forever. You can start looking for something better. You want to start a business, do it. You want to change careers or go to a different field, do it. You don't need that fucking job. Aching feeling in you, that desire for change in your situation when it comes to your job, listen to it. Because you don't want to be like Donald, at over 60 years old, angrily gathering shopping carts in a Kroger parking lot when you could be retired and enjoying your retirement. All those things, toxic friends, toxic relationships, and dead-end jobs, are all things that many people find themselves thinking they have to live with, almost like they need the person or that specific job, not realizing just how many years that they're losing by staying in that same place instead of accepting this simple fact. You don't need them. I encourage you to take a step back, analyze your life, and introspect on what toxic environments you've allowed yourself to stay in for far too long. And look, it's likely something subconscious. And it's likely something subconscious that has you feeling like you need to stay around these people or this person or this specific job. Friends, jobs, relationships, opportunity, as nice as all of that shit is and can be, it comes and it fucking goes. But at the end of the day, this life is the only one we got. So you gotta make the best out of it and stay away and step away and stay away from situations, people, and environments that disturb your peace because you deserve better than that. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. Go do something positive for somebody in this world because there's enough negativity in the world. Change it. Go do something positive. Hell, even if it means just picking up the trash in your neighborhood, that can make a big difference. That one small thing can make a big difference. I'll see y'all in the next video. Take good care of yourselves out there.